Alright, so I just got my hands on the brand new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. And I thought, let me make a video and show you guys the crucial settings and features that you should tweak and turn on your new Galaxy S23 Ultra to take full advantage of your new phone. Because the thing is, out of the box, the phone is super boring and a lot of features are actually switched off. So we're gonna make some useful changes, add some widgets, and make the phone look super awesome. So without wasting any time, let's start the video right away. Alright, so once you finish the initial setup on your phone, this is how it's gonna look like. So the first change we're gonna make is to add a brightness slider to the quick panel. You can see it's not there on the S23 Ultra. So to add the brightness slider here, drop down the notification panel all the way down, tap on these three dots and then select quick panel layout. Then tap on brightness control and select show always. So this adds a brightness slider to the quick panel, making it very easy to change the brightness. When you press and hold the power button on your S23 Ultra, you'll notice that it launches the Bixby personal assistant instead of showing you the menu which lets you restart or power off your phone. And if you're like me and if you don't use Bixby, then I would recommend changing the behavior of the power button to show you the power off menu instead of launching Bixby. So what you want to do is drop down the notification panel all the way down, then tap on the power button. Here, tap on side key settings. Now under press and hold, change to power off menu. And now the phone will show you the power off menu instead of launching Bixby. Next, let's make some changes to the display. So what we're gonna do is go to settings and then display. Now here, switch on dark mode. And dark mode is actually quite easy on the eyes, especially when you view the phone's display at night. Now this is more of a personal choice. If you don't like it, you can always switch back. But I prefer keeping mine in dark mode. Now the next thing you should do is scroll down and go to font size and style. And here switch on bold font. This will increase the thickness of the font without changing its actual size. It just makes the font a little bit more legible. Now one thing that I suggest is changing the way the phone displays notifications on the lock screen. The problem with this is that by default the phone only shows you the notification icons and it takes one extra step of tapping them just to see what you've got. We can actually change how this looks. So to customize, long press on the lock screen, unlock your phone, and you will be presented with a live preview of the lock screen. Now since we want to change how the notifications look, we'll need to tap here and change this from icons only to details. And if you want, you can also make the notifications transparent. It just makes them look pretty. Now obviously this is a personal choice. If you prefer a cleaner look, then leave it on icons only. Or if you want more privacy, you can hide the contents of the notification. For example, you can hide the sender's name and the text message itself, but the notification will still be there. So to have this style of notification, what you want to do is go to settings and then notifications. Then tap on lock screen notifications and here change this to hide content. And this hides the contents of the notifications, giving you more privacy. Now the alternate thing that you can do is leave this on show content, tap on the gear icon, and from this list uncheck the apps for which you don't want to see the contents of the message on the lock screen. So as an example, let's uncheck this for WhatsApp, and now you will notice that the notification content will be hidden only for WhatsApp, but the other notification shows up normally. So this allows you more precise control over which notifications are to be shown on the lock screen. Now coming back to the lock screen customization, I also recommend changing the style of clock to something more attractive. You can actually have a really nice colorful clock like this one. So to change, tap on the clock and pick the clock that suits your style. And then select a color for it. Oh, and by the way, you can also change the size of the clock. I actually prefer a slightly larger size because bigger digits are easier to read. Lastly, you can also change the font. Now it looks good. And finally, you can put something down here, maybe your contact info, or type something that you'd like. So there you go. Now the lock screen looks nice. So now that we are done with the lock screen, now I'm gonna show you how to customize the home screen. Now, when you change the wallpaper for the very first time, what I want you guys to do is pinch in on the home screen and then go to wallpaper and style. Tap on color palette and enable this feature. And what this feature does is that it picks out the colors that are in the wallpaper and uses them as the theme of your phone. So look at the preview and pick the color palette that you like. Once you are done, you will notice that the theme of your phone will match the colors of your wallpaper, which is really awesome. One more setting that you should absolutely change is the way the icons are sorted in the app drawer. So if you want to change the way these are sorted, tap on these three dots and then select sort. We're gonna select the alphabetical order because that makes it super easy to search for an app. I also feel that the spacing is a bit off when it comes to these icons. I feel we can fit more icons on a single page on both the app drawer as well as on our home screen. So what we're gonna do is pinch in on the home screen and then go to settings. Now to fit more icons on the home screen, tap on home screen grid. So by default it will be set to 4x5, that is 4 icons in the horizontal row and 5 in the vertical row. I prefer 5x6, that is 5 icons in the horizontal row and 6 in the vertical row. So this option gives you a lot of space to fit your icons and widgets on the home screen. Now to change the setting for the app drawer, let's go back into the settings and tap on apps screen grid. We are going to change this to 5x6 and this allows you to fit more icons on a single page. Alright, now that we are done with the basic customization of the phone, let me show you some useful widgets that you might want to add to your home screen. But before that, you will have to customize how the home screen looks like. So by default, there are two home screens. The one on the far left is your Google feed. This does not count as a home screen, so for now, we are going to ignore this. Now I prefer having 3 home screens because that's gonna allow us to add a couple of useful widgets. So to customize, pinch in and then we will add another home screen over here. Then we're gonna make the middle one our main home screen by tapping on the home button. There you go. So now we've got a total of 3 home screens. The next thing you want to do is remove all of the icons and the widgets from the home screens so that you have 3 empty home screens to customize. So once all of the home screens are empty, let's start adding widgets. So pinch in and then tap on widgets. The first widget that I want to add is the calendar widget. So we are going to add this one because it shows us the month and the upcoming appointments. And we're going to place this on the leftmost home screen. The next thing we're going to do is make the widget a little bit transparent. So long press the widget and then tap on settings. We're going to switch off match with dark mode and select black and adjust the transparency. There you go. Now the widget looks really nice. So let's go back to the calendar widgets and also add the list view. So this is going to show us all of our upcoming appointments and events for the entire month. Very useful. You can also add a countdown timer to a specific event in your calendar. Just add the countdown widget and select an event from the calendar. So this one is going to show us how many days are left for Christmas Eve. Another widget that I absolutely recommend is the Samsung Health widget. This is a pedometer and it will show you how many steps you've taken throughout the day. You also might want to add the digital well-being widget. This is going to show you the apps and for how long you've been using them along with your screen on time. Kinda makes it easy to keep a track on your daily smartphone usage habits. Now on our middle home screen, let's add a clock. I'm gonna add the dual clock because I've got a friend who lives in another country and this makes it easy to keep a track of the time in her region. And you can also add a clock that shows you the weather. So if you go to the weather widgets, you've got a clock which shows you both the time and the weather. And speaking of the weather widget, let's add the weather forecast widget. Now sometimes the widgets don't exactly fit properly, so you can always resize them according to the home screen. Now I'm gonna remove weather and clock and move the main weather widget up here. So now it looks nice. I've also added the Samsung Notes widget and I think this is the single most useful widget on the entire phone because this lets you create a new note with a single tap. I find this widget extremely useful. You also might want to add the device care widget and this is very useful because it's going to show you how much storage and RAM is in use and how much of it is free. I've also left some space at the bottom, so here you might want to add the icons of applications that you use frequently. So I've added Snapchat, camera, WhatsApp, Instagram, gallery, etc, etc. And I've also rearranged these icons at the bottom. Like I've brought the dialer to the bottom right so that it's easier to open the phone book with my right thumb. It just makes the phone easier to use with one hand. Also, you might want to add the video recording shortcut here. So long press the camera icon and you will see three options. Drag and drop the record video down here. And this will give you direct access to the video recording mode so that you don't have to switch the camera modes around. And finally, on the third home screen, I've added the Gmail widget, which will show us all of our mail in the inbox. And I've also added a battery widget. Now this one shows us the level of charge in the phone as well as the connected devices. So right now I've got the S Pen and a headset connected to the phone, and it is showing us the level of charge in both of them. And finally, at the bottom there is extra space in case you want to add more icons. Oh, and by the way guys, you can also drag and drop widgets on top of each other, just like this. And you will notice both of them will combine, giving us two widgets inside of a single one. So this is gonna help if you wanna save some space on the home screen. So yes, this is how you go about customizing and making your Galaxy S23 Ultra even more functional. And all of the widgets that I've just shown you are pre-installed on every Samsung Galaxy smartphone. So you're gonna have all of these pre-installed on your brand new S23 Ultra. Samsung Galaxy smartphones have a feature that lights up the edges of the screen whenever the phone gets a new notification. And this makes the phone look awesome, especially at night. But by default, this feature is disabled, so you will have to turn it on. Let me show you how. Alright, so drop down the notification panel and go to settings. Here tap on notifications. Inside notifications, tap on notification pop-up style. Now on this screen, make sure that this option is set to brief. Otherwise you won't see these options down over here. So set this to brief and then tap on edge lighting style to change the style of edge lighting. Now there are plenty of edge lighting styles to choose from. My personal favorite is the glitter effect because this looks phenomenal. Once you select the effect, go to advanced and change the width from narrow to wide and duration from short to long. This makes the glitter effect a little bit thick and makes it last a little bit longer. And lastly, make sure show even while screen is off is enabled if you want to see the effect when the screen is off. I also recommend hiding the navigation bar that appears at the bottom of the screen. The advantage of this is that it gives you more screen area for your content. Look how the keyboard fits properly. So what you want to do is go to settings, then display, scroll down to navigation bar. Now inside here, change the navigation type from buttons to swipe gestures. Also, in addition to this, turn off gesture hints and show button to hide keyboard. If you don't disable show button to hide keyboard, then you will have this black bar at the bottom of the screen whenever the keyboard is open. So swipe gestures are awesome. It turns the edges of the screen into the back key, which makes it very easy to use the phone with one hand. So now swipe in from the edges to go back. Swiping up from the middle takes us to our home screen, and if you swipe up from the middle and hold, that's gonna open up recents. And doing this gesture will let you go back and forth between your recent apps. And many of you guys have asked me about this keyboard, so I'm using Microsoft Swiftkey. It's got a couple of interesting features like theme, which lets you customize the keyboard according to your mood. And you've also got this swipe gesture input, which makes it very easy to type. And this keyboard actually comes pre-installed on the S23 Ultra. You just have to enable it. So go to settings, scroll down to general management. Here tap on keyboard list and default. Just enable Microsoft Swiftkey keyboard and then change the default keyboard to Swiftkey from here. And I feel this keyboard is far superior to what Samsung has to offer. Samsung smartphones have a feature called Edge Panels, and these give you easy access to your favorite apps, screenshot tool, and a lot more. Let me show you how to customize this. Okay, so the location of the edge panels is shown by this white line over here, and this is called the edge panel handle. And you swipe in like this to open up the edge panels. Right now there is only a single edge panel. This is because we have to enable all of the other edge panels that I just showed you. So let me show you how. Drop down the notification panel and go to settings. Tap on display, then scroll down to edge panels, and inside here tap on panels. So by default only one edge panel will be enabled. So in addition to this, I want you guys to enable the smart select panel, the weather panel, tools, and the reminder edge panel. And these are just the basic edge panels on the phone. If you want more, you can always go to the Galaxy Store and download free edge panels from here. So I've just downloaded the calendar and the calculator panel from the Galaxy Store. Now while you're here, go back to the apps edge panel and then tap on edit. Then tap on these three dots and then enable show app names. So now you'll see the names of apps in the apps edge panel instead of the icons. And finally, just drag and drop the apps that you use frequently to this list, so you'll have easy access to them through the apps edge panel. So check it out, now we have all of these different edge panels available for use. Look at this, it's even got a compass. Now the Smart Select Edge panels is one of my favorites because if you take a screenshot using the rectangle option, this will let you extract text out of a photo. So we've taken a screenshot and now if we press on the T button, you will see that the phone will extract text out of the screenshot. And you can copy this and paste wherever you like. How amazing is this, guys? So edge panels are awesome and this is something that you should start using right away on your Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. By the way, you can also customize the edge panel handle. So what we are going to do is go back into the edge panel settings and here we are going to tap on handle. Now from here, you can also change the position of the handle, so you can grab this and place the handle anywhere you like. You can also change its size and also make it completely transparent so that you don't have the handle line on the right side of your display, but the handle is still there. So if you swipe in, you'll see that the edge panels will still open. So here's a feature that will make your S23 Ultra run cool and make the battery last a lot longer. And no, I'm not talking about the battery saver mode. You know what? Let me show you. So what you want to do is go to settings and then scroll down to battery and device gear. Here tap on battery, scroll down and more battery settings, and here you'll find a feature called performance profile. Inside it's got two options, standard and light. The standard mode makes the phone run normally. It balances the processing speed, battery life and heat generation from the processor. Now the light profile prioritizes battery life and it makes the phone run cool even when you've got multiple apps open. Moreover, this light setting will also make your phone run cool. Now of course you do sacrifice a bit of performance, but it's really not noticeable on the S23 Ultra because of the brand new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip. So I recommend keeping the performance profile on light if you want better battery backup and less heat coming from your smartphone. Also, the other day someone asked how do you disable the apps that show up in recents. So when you are in this menu, tap on these three dots and then settings. From here, turn off show recommended apps and now you won't see those apps in the recent menu. So by default you get a 24-hour clock. Now a lot of people prefer having a 12-hour clock instead. So if you want to change the format, go to settings and then scroll down to general management. Inside, tap on date and time and uncheck the 24-hour format option. That's gonna give you a 12-hour clock instead. And at this point, we are pretty much done making our phone fully functional. The final thing that you should do is check for both app and Android system for updates. So first, let's update all of our apps. So what you wanna do is open the app drawer and look for Galaxy Store. Inside Galaxy Store, tap on menu and then updates. And from here, update all of the system apps. Once you are done updating here, go to settings and then scroll all the way down and then tap on software update. Then download and install. And if there are any updates available, just download and install them. And with that, we are pretty much done. So this is it, guys. We have made our brand new S23 Ultra fully functional by tweaking its settings. switching on features and adding widgets to the home screen. And I've got plenty of videos coming up on the S23 Ultra, so stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. Tech Guy Charlie signing off.